Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Real Tales Podcast. Today I have Dylan and Brandon Trana from Phoenix, Arizona, and they're going to be talking to us about how they are crushing it with agent outreach in today's market. Guys, how the heck are you today?
Let's not stress, brother. Thank you for having us on.
No, thanks for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. Me and you guys have been talking to each other for a while. I know we guys we're all from the same mentorships, so it's cool to finally talk about business and see what's going on in you guys' world. So I know you guys are about my age. We're all in our early 20s, which makes this a really interesting podcast to have. I'm curious because I know you guys didn't we're not born and raised in Arizona. You guys started off, I think somewhere in the Midwest, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, we're originally from Minnesota, and then we were living in Fargo, North Dakota when we found out about wholesaling and we started to get into it.
So two-part question to start us off. What made you guys move all the way to the other side of the country? And then throughout that same process, what got you guys into real estate?
So I guess real estate was definitely a big part of us moving across the country, but I was just going to college, just partying, not really doing anything productive or advancing in life. And Brandon moved in with me in my apartment that I had up in Fargo, North Dakota, where I was living and going to college. And he was just straight out of the gate out of high school, just trying to make money, figure it out. He didn't even apply for college. And then came across wholesaling, came across our first mentor, Jamil Damji, and he's like, yo, we got to do this.
Yeah, so I graduated high school like right during Corona. So like my last few months of high school was online. And I already wasn't planning on going to college. And I just saw what Dylan was doing. And this doesn't really, I'm sure it's fun in the moment, but in 5 or 10 years, you're going to be, damn, why did I waste that much time just partying instead of trying to figure out how to make some money? So I could already see that. And then I moved in with him and we were both sitting there on our laptops. And he was doing, because he couldn't go to actual college like class in person, it was all online. So we're in his apartment and he's doing homework and I'm trying to figure out how to make money online. And I came across wholesaling and I'm just like, dude, this is the way. This is what we got to do. Because I was already trying drop shipping, e-commerce, like anything online business in 2020. I was trying it, like every single thing. And then nothing stuck. Like I would try something for a week and be like, if I go all in on this, I'm probably going to just waste all my money and not make anything. And then I came across wholesaling and we've already wanted to own properties. And we just, okay, here's the way we can get into real estate and make active income without actually needing to have anything with the license or money up front. So this is perfect. So I told him about it and this is perfect too. So he finishes his semester of college. He had a couple of days left and then just never went back so we could pursue it full time. And then we have some family here in Arizona, but this was also because Jamil is our first mentor. He's based here in Phoenix. So we just chose this as our virtual market. He was telling us it's a good market to be in. And Fargo, North Dakota, you can do deals there. Now you have to have license to do deals, but like we never wanted to live in Fargo. So we're just like, let's go somewhere where there's more opportunity. So that was a big play of, we had family in Arizona and we wanted to do deals here and we were doing virtual deals from North Dakota in Arizona. So when we moved there, it was kind of like, all right, now we're finally going to go see the actual properties that we're selling.
Okay, so Dylan, you had only one semester of college before you decided to just go full on into wholesale, right?
I went 3 semesters.
Three
But
semesters.
in my
Okay.
third semester, so I went a full year, and then Brandon's a year younger than me. He graduated high school, moved in with me, and then that third semester, that was right after COVID happened. Everything was online, and yeah, we're just sitting I'm just doing homework, and he's just trying to make money, and I'm like, dude, I'm not bringing in anything, and he just showed me the opportunity, and I don't know why I was so down, but I was just down right out of the gate. And we're like, let's just do this full time so we know we can crush.
And I know you guys doing Astro Flipping, which is a mentorship by Jamil. For those that don't know, Jamil Damji, Wholesale Genie. You guys got into his mentorship, and then you guys decided to actually like move down to where you guys were doing deals, which is different than what a lot of people do when they're starting off virtually wholesaling, right? A lot of people just stay virtual. They stay where they're living, whether it's a small town or big town, and just manage their markets virtually. What what was the advantage you guys saw with actually coming down to Arizona? Did you guys see an advantage in that at all, or has that helped you guys at all, or could you think you guys could have had the same success doing this from North Dakota rather than being in Arizona?
Yeah, so the way we look at it, because we grew up in small farm town, Minnesota, like our entire town was 800 people.
Oh,
So
okay.
we're kind of capped with our growth that we can have there. Because when we moved to Fargo, we started to grow more. It's like a bigger fish tank, right? Um, so we knew, okay, if we move to Phoenix, there's bigger people, there's more opportunities for networking and to get around people that are doing way bigger stuff. So it was kind of like a no-brainer. And we came here a few months before we moved down for my cousin's wedding because we have family here. And when we got here, we just felt the vibe where we could live here. So we just we signed up for Jamil's mastermind. Actually, it was this month 3 years ago, and we signed up for his mastermind, and we just booked Airbnb for a month, and we're just packed everything up in Dylan's truck, and we just drove across the country, just booked Airbnb for a month, and we're gonna figure this out. So we didn't really plan very much. It was kind of like 2 weeks in advance, and then all of a sudden we're moving across the country, and we don't know anybody besides our uncle who lives 2 hours outside of the city. So, but there was just more opportunity to grow because it's just a bigger fish tank because we were capped where we were at in our hometown than Fargo. There's probably room to grow there too, but where we want to go, people aren't doing what we want to do. And like, if you've ever been in the Midwest, you know that it's a different mindset out there
Hmm.
than, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm from Ohio, so I can
Okay.
definitely relate to that. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I grew up in Toledo in Ohio my entire life, so I definitely, I can see that here. It's more of a, the big players are mostly landlords, people that are doing developments. That's who I see are the big players here, which is, where I want my trajectory to go, just personally. But I mean, when it comes to wholesale, I mean, I can agree with you guys. The wholesale side and the fix and flip side, it's definitely not as big as what you see like in Arizona or like in Florida. So yes, there's definitely it's a different level of exposure over there. How much would you say that exposure to people and just the amount of deals people are doing down there has like attributed to your guys' growth, not just on a business level, but also just just self development wise?
I think it's been massive because this is the biggest city we've ever lived in. You get to go hang out with Jamil, Pace, Brent, show up to wholesale hotline. Our landlord owns almost 300 houses here in Phoenix, so he's been a massive mentor to us at Keeps. But just the level of people here. But then I don't know, I'm sure you felt it when you're in Phoenix too. There's just a different vibe of the people here and the collaboration. There's a networking meetup in Phoenix for real estate almost every single day of the week that you could catch. It's just it's just a whole different vibe, and we loved it. But it is so massive because just who you're around, you're just gonna reflect that energy. So if you're around people that aren't really
Yeah.
doing anything, you're gonna do that. If you're around the people that are just crushing it, on it, working out every single day, you're gonna be doing the same thing too. And Phoenix has just got that fast moving pace, and everyone's just working and hustling every single day. It's just I don't know, it's just got this different energy here.
No, I could definitely relate. So you guys ended up doing your first deal before you guys moved to Arizona. You guys were still in Fargo. Talk to me about that story. How did you guys end up doing your very first deal?
So we made a game plan with Jamil, and he just said, just start calling agents. So we did that a little bit, but then also we started texting sellers at the same time in Detroit, Michigan, and ended up a seller texted me back. We probably sent a couple hundred texts. Seller texted me back, hey, I'll sell my house. I was cool. Found a buyer on Facebook, and he closed in 2 weeks. That was like our first actual deal that closed. We made like $4,000 on it. We bought it from the seller for 9 and sold it for 13. Detroit, Michigan. We did our first 4 deals there, but I'll probably never touch that market ever again. So that was like our first deal. It's kind of just happened out of nowhere. And I don't think it was, we were definitely putting in enough work to see a result, but I don't think it was necessarily like, this is the way that you want to go. It was more God, the universe was just like, yo, just keep hustling and you'll figure this out. And it kind of gave us, because that deal, we were like, how are we going to pay rent next month? And then this deal happened out of nowhere. And it was just like, okay, we did this. We can keep doing this, but we're going to figure out a better way. And then Jamil's just like, just call agents in Phoenix. And then that's what we started doing. Then Dylan started doing deals in Arizona, which was the plan originally. So I did the couple deals in Detroit, Michigan. And then Dylan started getting deals done in Phoenix before we moved down here. So that was kind of the way to go.
Something that we were doing that we see a lot with a lot of new wholesalers too is we had total shiny object syndrome. We'd try Fargo, North Dakota for a month. We tried Detroit for a month. We tried Florida for a month, changing strategies, changing everything else. Because after 10 days of not getting paid, we're like, we're doing something wrong. And then Jamil's just like, the reason you're not doing any deals is because you keep switching what you're doing. Just call agents, stick with one thing in one market, it'll work. And then we started doing that in Arizona and ended up wholesaling 2 houses from Fargo in here in Arizona. And this is when everyone was saying, oh, Phoenix is the most competitive market, but we were able to pull it off, barely knowing anything. And still, that was our 5th and 6th deal ever. But just being consistent with it is what got us what we were looking for and really got the ball moving.
And so how long before, in between learning what wholesaling was and what the concept was to actually landing your first deal, how long was that?
I'd say, so we found out about wholesaling in December of 2020, kind of towards the end, like right before Christmas. And then we probably spent all of January and halfway through February just educating ourselves and going through astro flipping. And then we probably started actually taking action mid-February. And then the first deal closed on my 19th birthday in May. So it was about, from
5
learning
months.
what wholesale, yeah, it was from learning what it was till close the deal, it was about 5 months.
So you were 19 and you closed your very first deal.
Yeah.
He was on his 19th birthday, actually.
On your 19th birthday. So how does it feel being so young and making $4,000 on one transaction?
It was actually really crazy because, like I said, we didn't know how we were paying rent next month. And then that happened, especially on my birthday. But it wasn't even sick, I get to pay my rent. It was, we did this shit. We're going to keep doing this. This was like you see everyone else making 10, 20K wholesale checks. This was 4, but that $4,000 that came in was it just popped a bubble of, this is what's possible.
Oh yeah, I can totally relate. I mean, my first deal took me 5.5 months, and it was a JV deal that I ended up making $1,250 on. So, and I felt like the richest man in the world doing that. I mean,
Yeah.
And then the next month I closed on 5,500, and then I was really rich. I bought a car. I was 18 years old, and I bought a car because I had no car. So I can totally relate, man. I mean, those checks, especially in the beginning, man, those are the real special ones. Those are the ones that actually like give you. I mean, the money's cool, right? But it's proof of concept. Like, wow, like the confidence that you actually did something like this, and it's not like some magical thing. Like, this is something that's actually repeatable. Like, I just got to go do this again, and then do it again, and then do it again, and then the small reps are going to make me win. So you guys were doing, direct to seller in Detroit, and then also direct to agent in Arizona. And so you guys mentioned you guys had 5-6 deals going on. How long until you guys started seeing consistent deal flow?
We did 9 deals our first year, but it was still like on and off. Then we go a month without doing a deal. But I'd say after a full year of doing it, that's when we started doing deals every single month. I think we did like 9 our first year and then 21 our second year. So things doubled. We were closing deals every single month. But then we had it figured out, just like you were saying. After that first one, you proved like, oh, I did these actions and money came in. And you just got that taste and knew what you got to do. And you just got to keep doubling down and keep doing the actions that got you that success. And I'd say that second year is when things really started coming together. And that's when things really started being consistent. But we also tripled down on our efforts and just kept it up, making the calls every single day. There'd be days that we'd get on the phone with 70, 80 people just because we knew what needed to be done. So we weren't going to call until we had a contract, or we were going to keep calling until we had contracts.
So talk to me about the efforts you guys had to get the consistent deal flow. You guys mentioned doing direct to agent. How are you guys doing direct to agent? Are you guys just cold calling agents? Or are you guys calling listings? Like, how are you guys going about doing that?
We're mostly reaching out. We got a list from our title company. Jamil and Pace gave a list of all the agents in Arizona to like their communities. and then also realtor.com. But we did our first 25 deals literally just off of our cell phones, basically just going on realtor.com, calling every single realtor. And in Phoenix, there's 50,000 realtors. So we didn't run out of numbers to call, but we would just call everyone
And
right off our phones.
yeah, and when we woke up every morning, it's like, all right, we got to go hunt. But it's kind of, and you know this being an entrepreneur, right? It's kind of in the blood, and that not everybody can wake up every morning and go hunt and not kill something. Where we knew if we just keep hunting and we just keep going, at some point we're gonna be able to jump on something and snag it. So it's not even just making the calls. It's just not being so focused on, oh, if I don't get a check today, I'm like losing. It's no, I'm just building, planting seeds, and watering the garden, and then at some point it's gonna bear fruit. And it's just having that mentality every day, because we called when we moved to Arizona in end of September 21. We didn't do a deal October, November, and then December after Christmas we closed on 3 deals. So we moved it across the country, booked Airbnb for a month, and only had about 2 months left of living expenses. And it was literally exactly what we needed to just keep us super motivated and hungry every single day to go hunt, because we weren't like, before those deals closed after Christmas, like our bank accounts, we didn't even have enough money to drive back to Arizona. So we're looking at the situation we're in. There's light at the end of the tunnel. We know, okay, we just got to keep pushing. And then it just kept us motivated of just like, all right, we just got to keep going, and just hunt until you kill something. And not every day you're going to go kill. Some days you just got to get up, do the work, go to sleep, get up, do the work, and just keep repeating that. And that kind of just kept us motivated the whole time of just, it's being an entrepreneur. It's got its ebbs and flows, but it's in the blood. You know what I mean? Not everyone's built for this.
Yeah. Well, you guys are forced to do something like that because you guys had no choice. I mean, you just laid out your scenario at that point. You were running out of living expenses. You had to make something happen. And I think that's where a lot of the magic happens. I was going to ask a question about this later on, but I guess we'll get into it now, about the point in your journey where you see, drastic exponential growth. In my experience, it's when, like Brandon's situation, right, where your back is against the wall and you have to just hustle and claw your way through a situation you're going through, whether that's no deals being closed that month, whether it's a whole bunch of deals falling through, right? It's like I said, we're entrepreneurs, like stuff happens, there's ebbs and flows, right? But it's that time where your back is against the wall, which is going to happen if you're an entrepreneur. And if you're just starting, like this will happen to you, right? It's part of being an entrepreneur. What are you going to do once your back is against the wall? Right? Are you just going to say, oh, this doesn't work and just start blaming everything else and, just think externally? Or are you going to look within yourself and figure out, hey, no, listen, I know what to do. I've done this before. What I got to do, I got to triple down on this. And also, this is what I've learned. And, maybe you guys can shine a light on this. Is just having the actual faith that this can actually happen, right? If your efforts are all going towards a negative mindset and just trying to claw out of a negative mindset, you have to do double the work. Whereas if you're operating as a person that has full confidence that they can claw out of the situation, that as if they've already done it before 10 times over, that's where I feel like a lot of power comes in, and where you're really able to come out of those situations a lot better and a lot stronger. That's just my experience. I don't know if you guys have any takes on that.
I love everything you just said because, yeah, you're back. When you're an entrepreneur, it is going to get against the wall. It's not going to be one time. It's going to keep happening. But if you get to that point, it's kind of like God or whatever, religion or higher power you believe in. It's like testing you. It's like, do you really want this? It puts you in that situation. You're going to get in that situation. And if you really want it, you're just going to keep pushing through. You're going to stay positive, like you just said. If you're negative, you're basically just like digging your heels in the sand. But no, it's going to happen a lot of times, but it's testing you to see if you really want it. And if you really do want it, you'll keep pushing through and then you'll get what you're looking for. But in those hard situations, if you quit, you really don't want it because quitters aren't going to win.
Yeah.
And it'll keep happening even at higher levels, and it'll be different situations with your back against the wall. But no, that's like you said, it can happen 10 times. It'll continue keep happening, and you just got to push through in those moments and stay positive. Just stay focused on the work, not the results. But it does totally happen, and it happens a lot actually.
And so, talk to me about today. How are you guys operating today? How is what's your guys' business model? If it's still the same, kind of mention what you guys are doing to have systemized it at this point. If there's any people on your team, talk to me about how the business is in today's time.
Yeah. So this year, our first year we did 9 deals. And that was just my brother and I. Second year we did 21 deals just because we knew what we needed to do. And then we just spent all that time just on the phones. We knew what needed to happen and our skills were getting a lot better. And then, so 21 deals our second year. Our third year we did 46 deals. And then also added our first assistant to our team. And he is like a virtual assistant. His name's King, but he's an absolute rock star. He actually does deals as well, but he's just built different. He helps us with everything that we do. We started working with more buyers. Brendan and I figured out our roles that we're really good at. I'm an acquisitions guy, and that's what I focus on. And Brandon figured out his strong suit, which is dispo and working with other wholesalers. But yeah, in 2023, that's what we added on. Instead of just doing agent deals, we also started dispoing deals for other wholesalers, and that basically doubled our volume in deals. And then this year, we got 2 full-time acquisitions guys, our cousin Ben, and then Daniel here in Phoenix. Those guys are crushing and starting to build some momentum and some deals in their pipelines. And King, Brandon, and I, we kind of figured out our roles on what we need to do to help the team. And I think this year we just passed over 60 deals in like the past month for the year. And now we got basically a whole team ripping, and we're just gonna, continue to build that. Maybe find a dispo guy here soon to help out with Brandon and King selling deals. But we're just basically doing what worked, not changing strategies, just trying to grow on what we already have found success on.
And so King, your virtual assistant, what's his, I guess, main role? I know you said he does pretty much a lot of things, but what's his main role?
Yeah, so when we first brought him on, he was just going to be admin, basically taking care of social media, taking care of the CRM, just organizing everything. And he got so good at it that he would organize everything super quick, and then he would ask me, hey, what do you want me to do next? So I was like, cool. All right, well, we have all these buyers who haven't been talked to yet, to start texting them until it's point for me to get on a call. So he starts texting buyers. So he still does the same daily tasks as he was doing when we first brought him on, where he'll organize everything, make sure everyone on the team has enough leads to call, make sure, he comps deals, he'll give buy numbers. But now he's at the point where he's texting his own agents, he's texting buyers, and he's literally locking up contracts over text messages. And he's literally closing his own deals, which is super cool to watch, because he found us by, hey, I want to wholesale. Speaks Nigerian super thick when we met him, so everyone he was calling was hanging up on him. And now he's getting better at English, and I said, hey, why don't you just go into African realtors in Arizona and just start connecting with people who speak your language? So he's perfect, let's do that. So he literally started connecting with people from where he's from, and now they're all bringing him deals because they just can connect on something different. But when we brought him on, because we were kind of like just doing it, we were doing a couple of deals, but as soon as we brought him on, we could just feel, okay, we're pushing our business in the right direction and we're trying to grow it. And with him taking other tasks away off of our plate, it allowed us to do more deals. And he'll do everything. Like, I'll call him, it'll be 3 a.m. where he's at, he'll answer, and then whatever I need, he's on it. Like, he works nonstop. It's crazy. And he's always trying to do a deal. He's always making sure Ben and Daniel on our team got everything they need to crush it. He's just a well-rounded CEO, basically, living in Nigeria. I think he's top 1% income earner for his country, because he does deals, but we also pay him a salary. He just crushes everything that he does, and he's got the same mindset and mentality of us, where he's just gonna do the work every day. If we do a deal, great. If not, tomorrow's the day we're gonna do one. He just brings good energy to the table for everyone.
That's awesome. That's a key player to have, and that's something that's going to grow with you guys as a company as you guys continue to build out. Like I said, hire a dispo guy. Like that guy's going to stay crushing it. That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's awesome. So you mentioned he's texting agents. Is that something you guys are doing at in a company as a whole, or are you guys still calling agents as well?
So our acquisitions guys are mostly calling, and like myself too. I'm calling a lot of my agents as well. We do text our agents when we follow up with them, but when they do text back, we try to get on a phone call with everyone that we're in touch with, unless we just talked to them recently or something. But yeah, the first time we talk to them, we do want to call them just so then we can stick out from all the text blasts that everyone's doing. So we try to get on the phone with them, stand out, say something funny, try to just be different from all the calls they get and super repetitive. And I'm sure anyone doing agent outreach can say the same thing, that all the agents are saying their phones are blowing up every day. But we try to get on the phone right away with them and try to get them to save our number, try to stick out different from all the noise. And then when we follow up with them, it's a text. But if they text us back, we're going to call them just to touch base.
And so you guys want to stand out. Talk to me. I don't know if you guys want to share this, but if you guys can give out some secret sauce.
Bro, ask away,
what
bro.
are you guys doing to stand out with these agents?
We'll open up the calls with funny ways. I know, like okay, let's say earlier today, I call my agent. Hey Rod, what's up? I'm just at a hookah bar, bro. I was just calling to see if you got any houses. But like, I'm not just like, hello Rod, I'm looking for a fix and flip in a robot monotone voice. I'm bringing that energy to the phone call. Say what's up. This is why I'm calling. Not just, hey, how are you? And he's like, why you calling me, bro? You know, we're trying just to get to the point, but also bring that good energy. Try to just not just sound like a monotone robot when we're calling these people. Try to say something funny. Another thing we also do, a lot of these realtors in Arizona have buyers as well. So we try to see how we can start bringing them deals, see how we can be of value to them, trying to lead with value. Like, what are you looking for? I'll keep my eyes open for it if I run across anything. But we just try to open it up with something funny, but still be direct, but just bring that good energy to the call and not just sound like a robot. Because that's the people that they're getting hung up on and not saving their numbers.
Yeah, I think also too, Ben and Daniel on our team, they're just super good at it. They're just real. They're just super authentic. They don't care if they say something whack or they get hung up on. Doesn't matter. Just brush it off onto the next, and they're just themselves, which makes them stand out because everyone, if you're talking sellers, realtors, wholesalers, doesn't matter. If you're just going to be just straight business, and you're just monotone, just whatever, you just there just to try and make some dollars, you're going to get hung up on. You might do a couple deals, great. But if you want to actually build relationships, which I think we do a really good job at, we're just real people. And we don't try and fake anything. If they ask us, hey, are you a wholesaler? I don't like no wholesalers. So, of course I'm a wholesaler. Why don't you like to work with me? And like, we just make it funny, make it fun, and just everyone wants to have fun while they're doing it, right? Like, no one wants to just work with someone that's just kind of negative and just whatever. And that's, I think, something that we all do really well is we're just not afraid to be ourselves, and we're just being real.
I love that. I love that. So you brought on 2 acquisitions guys. How were you guys able to train them to be able to take on you guys' role of bringing in the business? Because I know it's a big part of the business is the sales.
Yeah, I basically just took my follow-up process and how I do agent outreach, and I just put it into small videos, like probably 5-10 minute long videos. Got a couple modules and a mindset module, just saying this is what you do in each step of the process. This is what you do the first time you call them. This is what you do when you follow up. Here's what you do when you offer. Here's how to stand out, be authentic on the phone. Don't just sound like a robot, talk business the whole time. You want to be personal, make them actually think of you, not just like another investor in their phone, like, oh, it's Ben calling, oh, it's Daniel calling, where they got you stuck in their mind. So when they walk into that house, they're just like, well, I'm going to call this guy. I'm just going to call Ben because he's real. He's funny on the phone. He's a young hustler. He's bringing that good energy. I don't know these other 15 people that just texted me and never called me. I'm not going to send them the deal. This guy that actually spends time with me and trying to get to know me, that's who I'm going to do the deal with. And yeah, we just basically made training videos that just break it down step by step.
Awesome. And then you guys mentioned that a big part of your growth was adding dispoing other wholesalers deals to you guys' business. How are you guys doing that? And are you guys taking like the same, I guess like outreach methods as you do with agents and just applying it to wholesalers, or how are you guys garnering and like building relationships with wholesalers? And then Now, how are you guys building a relationship to the point where you're selling their deals?
Yeah, so we were both just calling agents and it was working. And then I went on 4 month no deal. I went on a deal drought. Dylan still did deals with his agents. I was calling agents and I was putting up even more numbers than him, but I went on 4 months with 0 deals. And I'm just sitting there thinking, dang, I really need to try something else. Maybe I'll try doing dispo and micro flipping. And so we got the opportunity from Jamil to run a team call for the astro flipping community. And we did that for, I think, over a year. And we did it every single week. So right there, we're just letting our presence known and we're helping other and newer wholesalers learn how to do deals, which that led all the Arizona people in the community who were doing agent outreach to know like we're the guys because we're helping them out get their first deals. And so word of mouth just started to spread. And then we also have people like Brent and our landlord, Zach. They tell everyone in town like we're legit and, we're down to do deals, right? So we just kind of built a good reputation in town. So we had a ton of wholesalers already saved in our CRM, in our phones, and people are always reaching out for us for buy numbers, but we just never asked for the opportunity to dispo the deal. So I'd comp a deal and say, hey, lock it up at this price. I think it'll sell. And then I would never just be like, yo, let me know when it's locked up. Let me try and sell it. So I switched to that. And it's we kind of followed the same follow-up sequence as agent outreach, but there's certain wholesalers I talk to every day, and then there's certain wholesalers I won't talk to every day. It'll only be once or twice a month just because they're either part-time or they're trying to get into it. But we're at the point where we built up really solid relationships. I can go text 15 people in my phone right now and do 2 to 3 deals a month just from other wholesalers giving us the opportunity to do deals with them. But that came with just, we did the outreach first. We learned the game and then we started teaching it to other people and helping them grow their business, giving them tips. Like we would have wholesalers call us, say, hey, we're really close on with this agent on this deal. I can't get them to do the contract. No worries. Let me hop on the call. Let's close them together. So we'd hop on a 3-way call, close them, get the contract, and then we'd dispo the deal. So that was part of it, but it's just giving back. And at first we weren't trying to get anything out of it. We just wanted to help people out, do their first deal. And then that turned into, yo, like you guys are helping us out, get these contracts and you're giving us buy numbers. Like, why aren't you trying to sell these deals? So when I switched, I went on a 4-month deal drought. The month I switched to doing dispo, I did like 6 deals, all JV deals. And it was like, dude, this is what I was trying to do. Cause it gave me more energy. You got to be a certain type of person when you talk with the realtor. You still be fun, be yourself, but you got to be a little more professional, which I think Dylan does a better job than me than that. But when you're talking to buyers and you're talking to wholesalers, you can be a little bullshitter a little bit more. You joke around and say different things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just resonate a lot more with that because I'm still being me. I'm still being real, but I'm saying way different things. And I'm telling them, hey, go say this to the agent. This is how we're going to make this deal happen. And then, so the minute we switched to Dylan, you keep doing acquisition, I'll do dispo. I went 4 months, no deals. In 1 month did 6 deals, just helping out other wholesalers get across the finish line.
I think another massive thing is that we both spent 2.5 years just doing agent outreach. So, and also during those 2.5 years, we went to every single meetup possible in Phoenix. So we're always connecting with new people, telling them that, yeah, we actually are doing deals and consistently as well. And then we can bring that value saying, like Brandon will always hop on a call with an agent and a new wholesaler if they're maybe just not at that skill level yet or they're just not sure what to do in this situation. Brandon will always hop on a 3-way phone call, close the agent basically. He'll help them with buy numbers, help them throughout that entire process so that they can start doing deals. And I think just helping a lot of new wholesalers start doing deals is what's turned into us being able to do a lot of deals with them as well.
So the short answer really is just personal brand at the end of the day, just building that personal brand. And isn't that the best marketing, by the way?
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, granted, to you guys' point, you guys were in the trenches for 2.5 years before, any of that started to really pick up momentum on the personal brand side of people, you guys dispoing deals. But that is the best, and even in my experience, like it's the best type of marketing. People just knowing who you are, whether it's you posting on socials, you being part of a big community. That has proven to me to be the best and free, by the way, marketing channel you could have. So that's awesome that you guys have that in you guys' business. And are you guys still you guys are posting content online, right? So yes, that's just adding more to the fire.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I love
Awesome.
what you got going on this podcast. I seen you got John Galan, Jonah.
Oh yeah.
Like, I love this, bro.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, yeah, you're inspiring us. We got to start one of these.
Man, the reason why I started this was honestly just to connect with people like you guys. That's really it. That's the reason I did it, man. I started off just doing people and doing the big players in my market, and then just slowly started branching off to do people that I just wanted to have good conversation with. I thought could add a lot of value. So now that's the reason why I brought you guys on, because I know there's stuff that you guys know and it's stuff that you guys do that can help a lot of people out. So,
Appreciate it.
on that note, one question that I have, not necessarily a business question, but more so like a mindset question, is throughout this whole journey, what has been the best lesson you guys have learned about leadership?
I think a leader's got to lead from the front. It's not someone telling people what to do. It's being a leader. You got to be out in the field with your guys. You got to go to war with them every day. It's not just, I'm going to put my feet up on the desk and you guys are going to call for me. It's, I'm going to show you guys how to call, and I'm going to make more calls than all of you, so you know it's a competition. And that's, I think, something that we do really well, because obviously me and Dylan are together basically 24/7. So we're always in constant competition. And now we have our little cousin living with us. So he sees, okay, this is a pretty competitive household that we're living in. And Daniel sees that every day. So it's not just, yo, hey, this is our company, you guys are working for us. It's, yo, we're all working to push this company forward, and we're all putting in the work, and we're making it like a friendly competition, making it fun, but we're leading from the front. We're actually in the trenches with our guys doing shit, making it happen. We're not just waiting for something to come across. Like, we're out there making shit happen and pushing the needle forward with our guys as a team, as one unit. And that's why I think we crush it so much, is because we all know our specific roles, and we all just crush that role. We're not trying to be someone we're not. And it's just putting the right people in the right place as far as leadership goes. Dylan's definitely he's the older brother, right? So he's the next in line for the crown. But he's way better leader than me, and he helps push me every single day, which helps me push everyone else on the team and also pushes him. So just being competitive and going to war every day with our brothers, you know?
Yeah, I think it is just leading by example. Like, not just saying things and not following up with your own actions. You gotta, if you expect other people and especially your team to be doing the things, you gotta be doing it every single day and showing them that, hey, I'm gonna be doing this, and I'm trying to beat you guys in a friendly way, but I'm trying to do the best here too. And just doing what you're asking other people to do, showing that, hey, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do the best at it. And it even goes, a massive thing for us is like fitness. So we'll wake up, me, Brandon, and Ben. He lives with us, but we're all pushing each other. If someone wakes up like, oh, I don't want to go to the gym, we're like, no, we are going to the gym. Like, let's go. Like, we're getting in the truck or we're leaving without you. But we're just always pushing each other and like, hey, we're asking you to do this, but we're doing it too.
Yeah, because we'll go to the boxing gym at 6 a.m. and it's like, yo, I don't want to do this. Yeah, well, nobody wants to go get punched in the face, but that's what we're going to do today. So deal with it. And then after it, you're going to feel good that it happened.
I love that. And speaking of boxing, were you guys fighting in Mexico over the summer, from what I heard?
Yeah, we fought in May, actually. We were going to fight this
That's
past
crazy.
weekend, but we had to, I think our next fight's going to be in December in Mexico. But funny story how that happened. We were just ripping CrossFit, and then we were both talking, and we were both, well, we live in a pretty big city. We don't really know too many people. We should probably just know how to throw a punch just in case. So next door to our gym was a boxing gym. So we walk in there, and our coach just turns and looks at us like, yo, can I help you? And we're just like, yeah, can we come in for some classes? And he's like, yeah, come tomorrow. I'm like, all right, cool. And then he just made it really fun, and we got a good relationship with him. So we just went full time into boxing. And then in January of 24, he's just like, yeah, you guys are going to fuck some people up this year. And we're just like, all right, cool, let's do it. Next week goes by, and he's just like, all right, I got you guys on the calendar for March. And I was like, oh, he's serious about this. All right, let's do it. And then it comes like 3 days before our fight in March. He's just like, yo, they canceled it, so we're going to fight in May. And we were just like, oh shit, all right. So we got two more months to train, basically. But yeah, we went. It's right across from Yuma, Arizona. It's like a mile past the border, so it's not like deep into Mexico. But I fought some dude from Mexico City. Dylan fought some dude from Tijuana, and it was fun. It was only 3 2-minute rounds, so it's not like an actual. It's like just a burner amateur fight. But boxing teaches you so many life lessons. It's bigger than just like a sport where you're punching someone. Like, it reflects all aspects of your life and your business too, which I think is the best thing that we got out of combat sports.
Can you talk more about that?
Yeah, it's just being consistent, If you aren't showing up every day, skipping workouts, not eating good, taking care of all the aspects of your health and your training, just like in business too, if you aren't doing your follow-ups, you're doing it half-assed, you're doing it 3-4 days a week, you're going to get that result. But if you're training every single day and then take those principles, bring it to your business, and you just showing up every single day and crushing it and trying to do the best possible and going as hard as possible, you're going to get those results. And I think that's just the biggest thing, how boxing translates is you get, or just like, I guess, anything you could say in life, you're just going to get out of it what you put into it. And we went down, we had pretty solid fights, but we were training six days a week and still doing mobility and stuff on Sundays, trying to recover and still do something in our fitness realm every single day. And it ended up working out good. And same in our business, we're working basically every single day, or if we're like walking deals, we're trying to include something, or always just learning if we're not working, and it turns out into good results.
Yeah, and the game is going to expose you. Like, you're going to get back what you put into it, right? It's the same thing with boxing, same thing with real estate. It's super simple, but it's super complex at the same time. For boxing, hit him more times than he hits you. But anyone who's ever done any combat sports knows it's way more complicated. Like, that's pretty simple definition of how to win a boxing fight. But it's way more complicated than that. You got to have the right footwork. You got to be on balance. You got to know when to move. You got to figure out how you move as a fighter, because we all have different, fighting styles. But it's the same thing with real estate, right? It's calls, make offers. It's as simple as that. But it's an art, right? It's how good am I at being on the phone? How can I perfect my craft? How can I get better at this call? How can I make this offer better? It's the same thing. It translates, and what you put into it's what you're going to get out of it. If you're going to the gym 6 days a week, but you're not putting 100% effort in, why are you even going? Like, why do something 50%? If you're not going to do it 100%, you might as well not do it at all. And it's same thing. It translates in everything, in your relationships, in your business, in your fitness. So I think you get exposed if you don't put it in, and the game knows how much you're putting in. It's going to give you that energy back to you. So I think that's one of the biggest things that I've learned from boxing, because nobody wants to go get punched in the face. But if you're in a fight, you're probably going to get punched in the face. But how are you going to react to that? Are you going to create a situation from that? Or are you going to let that person control your emotions? Because if you've ever been in a fight before, if they control your emotions, they control the fight, they control you, they're going to win. Where if you can slow down, keep your head on, you're in control of this, you're going to be fine. Is the same thing for real estate too. If someone cusses you out on the phone, or you get hung up on, are you going to really let that person ruin your day? It's just a phone call. Just click the button end and call the next person. Are you going to sit and be disappointed in it? Are you going to just mope around? Or are you going to try and learn, how can I be better for the next time I make the call? Or how can I call that person back and rekindle that relationship? What can I do different to make it better? It's the same concept, same principles.
I love that. I love that. The game is going to expose you. That's probably one of the best sayings I've heard in a long, long time. I wrote that down actually. So that's baller. I love that. So kind of the same question I asked about leadership. I want to cater it towards entrepreneurship and actually like running the business. You guys already shed a light on a lot of stuff, right? Making sure you're doing everything 100%, making sure, you basically already gave us the rundown of your whole entire business. But if there's one last thing you can give as a last tip for somebody that's already maybe an entrepreneur or is wanting to be an entrepreneur, you can give them one tip about entrepreneurship, and what would that be?
I think one of the most massive things, and no one, actually the successful people, all of them do it, but everyone that fails, it's a pretty similar thing that it all comes down to, and that's consistency. If you're showing up every single day for months and months and months, that turns into years. if you're just consistent with it, you're going to blow everyone out of the water, because most people try this, especially in real estate. They get to it about day 60, don't see any checks, and then they quit, and then they end up never being a wholesaler or doing something. But it'll translate into anything. If you start working out 60 days in a row and don't see anything and give up, you're never going to see anything. But that's like really when things start past 60 days, that's when things start really taking effect and you start getting that good momentum. That first trying to get the ball moving is the hardest part. But once the momentum's going, it is a little bit easier, but you still got to keep it up or else it's going to stop, and then you got to try to start it again. But if you're just consistent at whatever you do, it's going to work. And Pace has this awesome quote that I refer to a lot, and whoever we're trying to help out starting wholesaling is, if you've been consistent for 91 days, you've only been consistent for one day. So like if you quit on day 87, you haven't even been consistent for a day yet. You got to give something 3 months of doing it every single day, or as many days as you can in a week, to be considered consistent. But if you just got that consistency down, most people are going to give up after a month or two. So if you can get past that point and just be focused on doing it every single day instead of the results, you're gonna win.
I love that. That's so true, and it's so simple, but only maybe like 10% of people actually end up doing this. I mean, especially in our business. Like, I started when I was 18, and then I had this guy who was a buyer of mine that kind of showed me the ropes really early on, what this business was really like. Because I came in just with like stars in my eyes, like, oh my god, I can just go and just make a couple calls and I'll make $10,000-$20,000. That's pretty much what everybody thinks it is when they first get started. But that's how I was thinking. And this guy told me straight up, like, hey, listen, man, like, this business, you can make a lot of money, but the fall rate's about 95%. So, don't get choked up when your first deal cancels or when your second deal cancels. It took me about 4 deals to cancel before I even got my very first deal. So, and if it wasn't for having that insight, just having that clarity that it just takes consistency, and you are going to fail, but that's okay. I probably wouldn't even be here today. I probably would have quit and just done something else. So I 100% agree with that, man. 100%. 100%. What would you say to somebody that wants to get started, specifically wholesaling? What would you give as action steps to somebody that wants to get started in the wholesale business in today's market?
I think number one, it's choose your market. If you're in a smaller market like we were in North Dakota, maybe find somewhere bigger to go. You want to go where there's a lot of activity, because if there's a lot of activity, that means there's a lot of buyers. So if there's a lot of buyers, there's a better chance to sell your deal. But figure out what type of person you are. Are you just trying to talk to buyers? Do you want to talk to sellers direct, like homeowners? Do you want to talk to real estate agents? Find whichever personality fits you the best, and then just focus on that and be consistent with it. Don't go, I'm going to call sellers for 2 hours. I'm going to call agents for 2 hours. I'm going to call buyers for 2 hours. First off, find people in your market who are doing deals, people who already have buyers and they're already getting stuff across the finish line, deals closed. And then find out what strategy you're going to go in on and go all in on that and focus 100% of your time on that and be consistent with it. And don't change because you didn't get paid in 60 days. Don't change if you didn't get paid in 90 days. Just keep being consistent with whatever strategy you choose, because they're all going to work, but you have to work them in order for them to work. So I would say just get focused on what you want to do, connect with people who are already doing it, who you can leverage for example, if you're a brand new wholesaler in Phoenix and you come to us and say, hey, I'm getting these deals, I don't know what to offer on these properties, I don't know what to say to these agents. Okay, no worries. We'll comp it together. We'll look at the deal. We'll give the offer together. I'll literally talk to the agent on the call with you so you can hear how I present my offer. And then we'll go from there. And we're just going to start firing up shots, and then just leverage other people with more experience and just be focused on it. And that's literally it. Just find your strategy, find your people that you can collaborate with in your market, and then go all in.
I love that.
How many markets are you in?
Me? I'm in 2.
Yeah. Which, Florida and Ohio?
Oh, yep.
Okay. Yeah, so if I was new, say I haven't done a deal in Florida. So if I'm starting in Florida, I'm hitting up around them, just be like, here's what you got to do when you're new if you want to learn and get experience from the guys that are doing deals like Ron. you need to lead with value, because he has a lot of stuff. He's got to run his own business. But if he sees you actually hustling and trying to bring him value, he's going to pour into you. Where if it's just like a take, like, hey, man, can I just pick your brain for 45 minutes? He's not like, that's not a really good value exchange. It's only going one way. And especially someone who has a bunch of experience, why do you just deserve an hour of their time when they got their businesses they got to run? But if I was hopping into Florida or Ohio, I just say, hey, Ron, what are you looking for, man? I'm going to hit the phone super hard. I want to bring you deals. And here's the thing, you're going to have to probably split some deals with the guys that are already doing deals. But here's the thing, you're going to learn way quicker than if you just go try to figure everything else out on your own. So I'd go find someone doing deals already. What are you looking for? What do your buyers need? I want to do deals with you. I'm going to bring you opportunities. All that I ask is that you can maybe help me close on them. And if they see you hustling, and the people that find success, they probably did a similar thing too, found someone who's doing a lot more than them, but then led with value and tried to bring them opportunities. Yeah, you split a couple of deals on your first few, but then you figured it out way faster than if you would have figured it out on your own. So it doesn't really matter, because you're going to be able to start having success a lot quicker. So I just say, what are you looking for, Ron? I'll start bringing you opportunities. Here's this situation. I'm really close on this deal. I offered this. Do you think you could help me close this seller? But someone bringing you value, and also when they give you advice, if you go actually do what they tell you to do, they're going to respect you, and that's your way you can bring value to them, is just by doing the things that they told you to do. And I think that's what I'd do if I was brand new starting out and I just wanted to get to a check as fast as possible.
100%. 100%. So where are you guys' business goals, say within like the next 3 years? Where do you guys want to see your business go in that time frame?
I think that, so I already know the next couple steps. One, I need to bring on a dispo guy to help me out, because we have so many properties and I can't call all these buyers myself. But I don't want a huge wholesale company. I want something kind of like Brent Daniels, do a lot of deals, do a lot of big deals, but you just got all your homies working together and you just crush it. So that's where we want to go with the wholesale business, is to just get a good group of guys that just wants to crush. As far as business wise goes, we're looking at commercial properties here in Phoenix. We want to open up a fitness center / gym. And we also want to run our real estate office out of that so we can host our own meetups. And then also too, hey, come hang out at our gym, come do deals with us at the gym. Great place to work out. So that's kind of where we're heading for the next couple of years. But as far as just wholesale business goes, I need to bring on a dispo guy, and yeah, I honestly maybe start direct to seller pretty soon once our dispo guy's going, and our ad guys are already crushing. So we just need to bring someone on to help out with dispo, and then just keep building from there.
Awesome.
I think in terms of numbers, get our Phoenix market to doing 10 to 15 deals a month here in town, and then we want to go replicate that in another market. I don't know how many markets we're going to do. I'm guessing right now, looking at it, maybe like Phoenix, Florida, just some spots that we do want to hold property. But I think build a couple wholesale teams, start crushing it, take our model that has worked before, drop it in a new market, get that to the same level as well. And then, we want to open up this gym here in Phoenix and kind of be like the hub and the spot for people to hang out, real estate investors to swing through, have our real estate office in there as well. And I think just keep building the personal brand and connecting with trusted people that we like and want to continue building new ventures with. But I think at the moment is just really build that up and find the right people and continue networking, because your network is your net worth. It truly is. It's not at the beginning, it's how, but then once you get to a certain level, it's who you're connecting with. And that's kind of what we're at right now. Who's our guy that's going to be on our dispo team? Who are we going to open up our new market with? Who are we going to buy these deals with? It's, I think, just continue building us and our personal brand and start opening up new ventures.
I love that. And a question that just came to mind is, how are you guys finding the talent that you guys want to come into your company?
I think personal brand is pretty good at that. I mean, that's how our assistant King found us. He found us on one of Jamil's YouTube videos. That's how Daniel knew us. He knew that we were doing deals. He's part of the Astro flipping community. So I think personal brand, and then people who just resonate with us and they just want to be a part of something long term that's going to be huge. You know, right now it's just a couple guys and we're all crushing it. But in 10 years from now, you know, it's going to be a lot bigger, especially our personal brand and our network's going to be expanded. So, you know, people who are on the same mindset as us are just going to get attracted to us. And we're A players, so we're just going to attract other A players, super high quality people that just want to crush. So I think our personal brand is going to be how we find the right people and put them in the correct positions to succeed.
Awesome. And what is your guys' why?
I think for us, our why is showing how powerful brotherhood is, because we're brothers. We do everything together. We build businesses together, live together, work out together. Our why, I'd say, is just showing how powerful brotherhood should be. You know, we haven't really had sisters, and we're definitely not females, so I'm not sure how much I can really speak in that experience because I have no experience in that realm. But for us, really building and just showing how powerful brotherhood should be and how it is needed as men. You do need your brothers around you. You need your brothers to train with, to go to war with. You just need to have that brotherhood in your life if you want to be the best man possible. And I think that's something that we can really teach on with everything that we do. It's with our bro. And our little cousin is basically like our little bro. And I think just sharing how powerful brotherhood is and how much it's needed.
I love that. It's definitely needed. And I'm somebody that, you know, my brother works in my company as well, right? My brother, he's, I think, same age gap as you guys. I'm 20. I just turned 23. He's 21. He's about to be 22. And he's my transaction coordinator, and he's a freaking rock star at it. Dude's the best at closing deals once they're actually, you know, sold and at title. So it's definitely cool to work with your brothers, and it's such a cool feeling to have him in the company and just see his growth over the last 6 months. It's like 10x. It's really cool. So I think that's such a cool thing to strive for. Really cool thing to strive for.
It's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
I'm hyped to hear
Yeah,
that.
it's awesome.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's beautiful.
Yeah. So last question. If you can go back in time, right, back to December 2020, and you can talk with the Dylan and the Brandon at that time, back when you guys were just getting started, what would you tell them?
I have two answers. My first, just simple one, is just stay focused and don't try a whole bunch of different things. Just choose one thing and stick with it. That's my short answer. But I really like where we're at, and I love the journey that we've been on, so I don't know if I'd want to change it. I love how it unfolded.
Yeah, the only thing I really would have to say is just enjoy the ride and figure it out. That's it. Because I wouldn't change a single thing that happened. I wouldn't change any direction that we went. You know, I think it's all on divine timing, and I just enjoy these steps because you know you're at the bottom right now, but at some point you'll be at the top, and I don't even think we're close to reaching our potential yet. So we're just gonna keep enjoying this and figuring it out as we go, and that's it. Literally, just go figure it out and just enjoy it.
I wish we would have recorded ourselves more when we were broke and had long hair, couldn't afford haircuts, couldn't afford to
Yeah,
replace the
that's
AC on
true.
our truck. I wish I would have taken more pictures,
Man,
actually, too.
man, our journeys are almost the same because I had long hair when I was getting started too. I was like down to here. No joke. Um, No, that's cool. And that's a common denominator I see with a lot of successful people is that, when I ask them that question, they say, they say they wouldn't change anything. Like it was all meant to happen to them. And I was watching an Alex Hermosi video a few months back, and this what he talks about just always sticks with me. It's like people that are trying to always find the blame in somebody else, whether it be like their mom growing up or their dad growing up, or I don't know, their bully from high school or their girlfriend or whatever. And it's like, okay, you ended up being a successful, in whatever endeavor you chose to be, whether, successful fitness person, entrepreneur, boxer, whatever it is. Right, and sure, you came up through all these tough tribulations, tough family issues, tough relationship issues, right? Which suck, but at the end of the day, you are who you are today because of that. So maybe those are the best experiences that God could have gave to you specifically. So I love what you guys said. Any last words? Where can people find you at?
Reach out to us on Instagram, Facebook. Our names are literally just my name's Brandon Trana on both of them. And we also have a public Discord server. Just reach out to us on Instagram. I'll send you the link to be a part of it. Just a community of real estate investors, wholesalers across the country that just collaborate and do deals. And so anywhere on social media, just my name, Brandon Trana, for me.
Yeah, for me as well. Just my name. And you can find me on any socials. Just my name.
Awesome, and I'll make sure I put it in the description for people to click on easily. Cool guys. Well, hey, guys, this was the Real Tales podcast. Dylan, Brandon, it was an absolute pleasure to have you guys on today. And audience, I will see you guys next time. Peace.
Thanks
Thank you,
for having
brother.
us. Appreciate it.